Hello and welcome to another We Think It's Funny podcast. I'm your host, Daniel Lobel, along with my fantastic co-host,
Mark Schiff. Good to be here.
or I'm his co-host, or whatever.
Yeah,
you
that's
call
the
it.
question.
Yeah,
Who is the co-host and who is the host?
and-
or are you both co-hosts?
And that smooth voice is Elon Gold, our guest today in the studio.
Well, it's certainly not Jay Leno, folks.
you have to start. You went from Leno to Gold. What a
What a fall from grace, folks.
I know.
Meanwhile, you were on when Leno had the show many times.
I did the Tonight Show 10 times. I
Wow.
did.
Sketches.
Yeah, I did 5 stand-up sets and 5 correspondent pieces. One of them was my favorite, where I played the. You remember the Super Nanny?
No.
Well, okay, because you're too young. I'm going to talk to Mark the whole time because
I
we're
do remember
closer
Super Nanny.
in age. She was this British woman, so-called expert, who thought she gave the worst parenting advice, but she's not an expert, and she would go over to people's homes and go, "No, you're doing it all wrong." So I said, imagine parodying her. And I pitched this to the Leno people and just going around to malls, Sherman Oaks, whatever,
Right.
and giving parents the worst advice.
Right.
And anyway, I would do it. But speaking of Leno, because you guys had him, right?
Right.
Yes, a couple
And-
weeks ago.
And that's exciting, by the way. 'cause
Very exciting. He was a terrific guest.
He is a terrific guest, and I'm not. And you're going to find that out
I know,
shortly.
we knew that
We
coming
knew
in.
that when we
Yeah,
booked you.
even though I did each of your podcasts separately. So when Danny, we'll get back to Leno in a second. When Danny called me, I went on a 19-minute tirade about how I hate podcasts,
And he's like,
but I love you guys.
Right.
So I went against my own hatred of. Imagine, let's take an anti-Semite. Imagine him now going to shul because he liked you guys.
Right.
But he hates Jews and the concept of Judaism
You hate
but-
podcasts on an anti-Semitic,
on an anti-Semitic level.
Level, wow.
Yeah.
That is hatred.
That's hatred. And yet I went, but I love these two specific guys, so
Right.
I will come in. My whole point is podcasts don't do anything to either further your career or your mortgage payments.
Okay.
And that to me is I'm still in that laser focus, like, is this
Yeah.
going to be good for the career? Is this going to pay the mortgage? And then if it doesn't check those 2 major boxes, I just say no to everything. But I couldn't say no to you two.
But this
Thank
could
you.
be good for our career and our mortgage
I
payment.
promise you it won't be.
Yeah.
Oh, anyway, so Leno.
Leno.
Yes, so Leno. So I did these, and it was always fun, and he was always nice to me. By the way, I'll never forget my first time. My first time there, the commercial break. He turns to me in the commercial break, and he loves to give advice because he's like a sage,
Yes, he
wise.
is.
And who else is like that? Your friend Jerry. And my favorite person to get advice from is Rock. Chris Rock is like Yoda. You just sit there and you listen,
Right.
and he just and he almost has the Yoda voice, but it's like this instead of this.
Right.
But he's amazing at giving advice. Anyway, so Leno turns to me in the commercial and he goes,
I never touched my Tonight Show money.
and I'm like, first of all, I didn't ask. I didn't say that, of course. I was like a kid, so excited to be on
Right,
TV.
sure.
I was like, really? You don't? And I was like,
Right.
when I thought about it later, I was like, well, you don't have to. First of
Right,
all,
sure.
you make $300K a night in your corporates in Vegas and whatever. But also, is that the best advice you could give me? Don't get a TV show and then don't touch
touch
the
that money.
money.
Well, maybe he was telling you not to take the money from the Tonight Show.
Right, you mean the $1,100 SAG scale AFTRA? Anyway,
Yeah.
So here's my thing with Leno right now, because he's obviously a great man and a great comedian. And I tried to work this out on stage, but it's so dark it doesn't really do well.
Mm-hmm.
It'll do well like at the Cellar or like in like hipper rooms, whatever. Or comedians like it.
But not at the Chabad in
Not at the-
Pasadena?
Correct.
Wow. I wonder why.
So the joke is that Leno, the times have changed so much, and the news has gotten so dark and depressing and awful
Yes.
that Jay Leno couldn't do his sing-songy, upbeat monologue today the way he used to do it in the old days. Like, it would be the weirdest. You can't do it with the things going up. They'd be like,
Oh, this is good. Hear about this? Read about this in the papers? Looks like we had another school shooting.
Right.
and it's like, what are you kidding? That's not
Because we've
funny.
had 10 today. So
Right, 10
that's,
today so
Right.
far, and then an assassination attempt.
Here's
Can we
something you
talk
don't see
about
in the news
that?
every day?
So Yes, so let's talk about the assassination, and also
Crazy.
this ties into what you're saying here about things you can do and can't do. You and I had a gig hours after Donald Trump was the attempted assassination on him when they clipped his ear instead of his brain.
And you and I have something else in common. Our phones are off for the Holy Sabbath.
It's off. The
So
phones
we
are off.
did not know
I didn't know.
until later that evening.
Yep. So
So you were on the gig together, or you had separate?
No, we
two
had separate gigs,
Okay.
and I was in New Jersey on my way to a gig. And where were you?
I was in Oklahoma, but I was in a hotel and I had found out.
Oh, you did find
Yeah.
out.
So I went to Jerry and said, "Listen." Well, I went back. I thought about this, and then I said, "Listen, how am I going to open my show?
Right.
I can't come out and go, could be here, casino tonight. Hey, how you do?
You
forget
can't
that. You
do
can't.
that.
You got to bring up the elephant in the room."
Right.
So I wrote a joke. I ran to Jerry and I said, "Listen, I usually don't open about this stuff, but I think I need to say something." And he says, "What's the joke?" And I'll tell you what it is. So keep this in mind. It's a casino. It's very important because you're not there. Casino. There's 4,000 people. That doesn't matter, but it's a casino. So I come out. I go, "Evening, ladies and gentlemen."
This is hours after the assassination
Maybe 4 hours,
attempt.
4 or 5 hours.
Right.
Be here. I didn't say good to be here, but
You're in a casino. You're opening for Jerry Seinfeld.
4,000 people
Got
out
it.
there, packed to the rafters.
What do you say?
And they introduced me very upbeat. Coming up now is a good friend of Jerry Seinfeld. He's been a friend for many years. He's on Jerry's latest, Netflix special. You can see him on his podcast. We think it's funny. And he, introduces me as if, the world is spinning beautifully.
Right.
So I come out and go, anyway, I'm not doing well tonight. I don't feel good about what happened. I'm in pain about it. I'll get through it. And I know a lot of you out there are going through exactly the same thing that I'm going through. Take a big beat and I go, I'm down over $500.
That's perfect.
Perfect. I didn't use the Trump word.
Right.
It didn't matter if you were Democrat or Republican.
Right.
They knew where I was talking. They didn't know where I was going. I slipped it. Now, interesting. When I told Jerry the joke, I had $200. I was down. He goes, "No, make it $500."
Wow.
Yeah. So he
You raised the
Look at
stakes.
Jerry punching up
Yeah.
even dollar amounts.
Yeah.
even
Yeah.
Trump jokes that he doesn't love the guy.
Well, what about you really leaned into Steve Martin's theory of comedy and joke telling is building up the tension and then you pop it and poke it and that's the laugh. And you really built up the tension.
The
in that
tension was
joke.
great, and I couldn't wait to see because I never.
Right.
And this joke only had the window of that night.
That night only.
The next night, maybe a drop.
As Jerry would say, it's a one night only. You can't do that joke the next night.
And
It's
then
crazy.
I felt
and
the
what
other-
if you're not in a casino?
Then it would have been a different joke.
First time I ever performed with Elon was at Stand Up New York. I was like maybe 15 years old or something like that. And he went up and he was doing Seinfeld.
I was.
You were doing a Seinfeld impression. I didn't know who you were.
Thank
I didn't
you.
know anything about you.
Neither does anyone watching this or listening to this podcast.
Everybody will know.
But
This goes out to more Chabads than you can
Everybody
imagine.
loves Elon.
I had
Yeah.
I had no idea
They don't
about.
even know who I'm
This
doing.
is Chabad's
Right, I was
favorite.
doing Raymond.
Is this
podcast.
the
I
one
know
you're
I love
doing?
you.
Okay.
It was Raymond.
Did I do a funny Seinfeld bit? Was it the racist Seinfeld episode?
I don't remember what it was. I just
Okay.
remember being like thinking that you were a Seinfeld impersonator.
Oh,
at
God.
at the end of it, because I didn't know
Could you
anything about
imagine
him.
if there were like a group of us, like Elvis impersonators, and we just went around going, "This is crazy," but there's two Seinfeld. There's yelling Seinfeld, "What are
Right.
you doing?"
Yeah.
And then there's very, contemplative Seinfeld who speaks very slowly and also very arrogantly, like you're gonna wait
Until
until he comes to a point. But anyway, what I did that night, because I also had that same conundrum dilemma, what do I do? How do you make this funny?
Right.
Not only is he the most divisive, polarizing figure on earth, but someone got killed. He
Yeah.
could have been killed. And how do you do this? So I'm like thinking the whole time. Now, I do a Trump, which is, again, an advantage. That's why comedians who are like purist comedians hate me and others who do voices because they think it's a crutch and they think it's something that is easy. It's like, and it's true. Listen, impressions are magic tricks. That's what they are. We're magicians. So the audience is going, ooh,
So
how do you do it?
You're one level below a prop guy.
Correct.
Okay, I got you.
And I'm just like, first of all, by the way, I grew
one
up.
level above ventriloquist act.
Yeah, there you go, right in the middle.
I grew up, my heroes all were guys who did impressions. It was all Eddie Murphy, Billy Crystal. I never saw Eddie Murphy doing Stevie Wonder. What a hack, or
No.
you know what I mean? It's like
I love impressions.
I love impressions, and my favorite people, from Robin Williams to Billy, they did voices. And to me, I knew that I had this innate talent since I was like in 5th grade. I would get up and do impressions of all the teachers.
Right.
And in front of the class, and they'd go nuts, and I'd be like, "Oh my God, this is the only way to get anyone to look at me or listen to me."
Let me interject
Did
something.
you do the teacher?
Of course.
Yeah.
You mean did her do her?
No, did the impression of her?
Oh, the impression of her.
Yeah.
I did
the,
both.
The way I wound up becoming friends with Jackie Mason many years ago is that
By
I
the way,
impressed
so
him with an impression.
that you could bring me up,
Yes.
and I'm not even alive to hear this.
That's right.
This is the kind of person that makes me so nauseous.
He'd be
All
pointing
All you
at
have
his
to
grave.
all you have to do when you're doing Jackie Mason is say the word nauseous.
Nauseous.
It makes me nauseous. It's a nauseating,
Poison.
and it's poison, and then you have to
Poison.
say a poison. I don't think there's any Jew that can do a bad Jackie Mason.
Right.
Yeah,
So
Mister
he loved that I did impressions. That's how basically what sparked our friendship.
Jackie.
Yeah. And he told me real comedians do impressions.
Whoa, I
That's
like
what he
that.
said. Real comedians do impressions.
And by the way, if there ever was a realer comedian, if
Right.
there ever was a guy, his one-man show on Broadway,
Yeah.
The World According to Me, is top 5 hours in the history of stand-up comedy. I'm
Yeah.
talking with Pryor, Carlin,
It's
everything.
amazing.
Amazing.
Yeah,
But
amazing.
then you hang out with him, and I got to do that also a couple of times.
Mhm.
He's constantly spritzing.
Yeah.
Right.
He's never off, right? He just spritzes.
Yeah,
He just,
yeah.
It's just everything is
Yeah.
is just funny.
But
Okay,
he did
so
great impressions. I was going to say he did Jack
oh
Benny.
yeah, he did.
He
Ed
did
Sullivan,
Lenny Bruce,
Lenny Bruce, Ed Sullivan.
Bob Hope.
Were they good impressions?
He
Very
did
good
Bob
impressions.
Hope?
Yes, and Lenny Bruce and Sullivan we know from this from the special, but from the one man show. But Jack Benny,
Wow.
he did the most
It's
amazing
hard to
Jack
believe.
Benny. Amazing.
That's amazing.
I
'cause
believe
he
you,
had
but it's
such
hard to believe.
Yeah.
He had such a distinctive voice, so to hear him
Yeah.
do that. So anyway, so then I'm like, okay, what do I do? And then I realized, well, obviously I have to do the Trump, and that's when it hits you. It's like, well, what would he say? What would he say? And then you just ramp it up a little bit and make it even
Which is
more.
hard to do. with
It's
him.
hard to do because it's pretty much what he
It's
would
pretty
say.
ramped up. To
And
begin
then
with.
I realize, the first thing he would say is,
The secret, they didn't do very well. The Secret Service, I think they did so badly. I think we finally figured out what the secret is in the Secret Service. They're not very good at their jobs. That's what the big secret is. They don't do well.
Yeah.
Rooftops. You look at the rooftop. You're in the Secret Service. You look at a rooftop, and they didn't do well. But I think I did. I think I did so well. You think about how I did. I think I did better than anyone. And there's a lot of people who don't do very well with this. You look at JFK. He did horrible. He did so badly. I think he did worse than Lincoln. JFK. He did so bad. They don't know. You see the bullet coming. And you gotta do this. You gotta move your neck. You gotta move your neck away, in your head. And then if you move your head like this, the bullet it whizzes past you. And then and then I just got my ear pierced. I never thought I'd get my ears pierced.
anyway, so that's what went
Wow.
in my head.
Very good.
You have to make fun of that he did well. That Trump would say, "I did so well."
Right.
He would give himself credit.
Credit for yeah.
For the bullet not hitting. And then I thought of another thing was like,
I love guns, but apparently guns, they love me more. They love me even more than I love them.
but anyway, so anything
This has staying power.
well, not really.
How can it not?
Well, it's not one night in a casino. It
This
has a
is
shelf
good.
life of a month, I would say.
That's all.
No, I
Everybody
think it
knows
could
this
go-
happened.
I think it could
First
go
of all,
longer
there's gonna be another attempt in like 2 weeks.
Yes, so
That's what my sources tell me.
Yeah.
God forbid. But anyway, is
Yeah.
the world crazy? I just heard, is Biden even alive? No one's seen him in 48 hours. Everything is insane. Kamala? What's with her?
what is going on?
Are
By
you-
the
are
way,
you
you
able
don't
to
get
do a-
political, but we don't love Kamala.
No, I
do
don't
we?
like her.
I mean,
I like salad, but the word salad that she makes, I don't like the
Yeah.
whole mixture.
Yeah.
By the way, Mrs. Biden has stepped down, and he should be well and live to whenever.
Yeah.
His wife still wants to be first lady. She wants to stick around.
Right.
She doesn't want it. She's not giving it up. She said he quit, but I'm not quitting.
That's
Yeah.
hilarious.
and she wants to help Kamala.
She didn't write a letter.
That's
No.
so funny. It's all crazy, folks. It's all crazy.
Are you able to do a female impression? Like, if Kamala gets
By the way,
presidency,
you
can
know
you do it?
the first impression I ever did was Julia Child. But you know who does a perfect... You probably had him on, Ami Kozak.
We haven't yet had him.
Okay,
on.
you have to have him
He
on.
doesn't live here anymore, but
Okay, fine.
Yeah, we're gonna have
He
him.
does...
We're in talks with his people.
I'll call him tonight and say,
With
you
his
must do
children.
this podcast.
No, he was gonna come in, but Mark was out of town at the time. But
Okay.
next time he's gonna.
He does a Kamala that's perfect.
Mhm.
And it is difficult for a man to do a woman. I know that sounds weird, but it's not easy to just get into that voice and that
Dress,
and that dress.
because he does the whole thing.
But
Pantsuit.
he nails it. Go follow him on Instagram.
So
and
if
you'll
she
see.
becomes president, I hear that Hillary Clinton is going to give her a whole bunch of pantsuits out of her closet.
Is that true?
They're going to, she's going to give it to her. The
Hand-me-downs.
pantsuit that she would have worn
Right.
as president, she's going to be very kind of.
I'm with her wardrobe.
I mean, didn't she say that the protesters on college campuses who were literally blocking Jewish students from walking, she said they're expressing their humanity, and like that's crazy to me. Anyone that has that take wrong
Yeah.
shouldn't be running our country. That's all I need to see. I don't care about all of her other policies. She literally was on the side of people screaming death to America, death to Israel, globalize the intifada, and oh, you're a Jew? You can't go into this library. And by the way, stopping a Jew from reading, I mean, come on. We're the people of the book.
That was that's all of Jewish history.
And you know what?
I used to have a joke about that Judaism, it's like religion is like one big aggressive book club. The Jews have been trying to get through one book, and every time we got the people start read the sequel, read this one. Well, I haven't finished the first one.
It's so interesting that you
Yeah.
say that because I had this and I want to make this into a bit. By the way, there's a couple of premises we have to work on.
We'll fix it up for you right
because
now.
what's the point of doing this? So we're just having a conversation?
No, we're here to
this
work
is a
for you.
work session.
We are here to work for you.
I am
and help
hiring you.
Yeah.
The Uber that I'm going to have to take home.
Oh, this is a bus. We can just take this.
So, okay.
Leno, by the way, looked at the bus. He looked at the engine.
And he did.
And
He
he
looked
said-
we told him to
inside.
fix it. We had some wrenches for him, and we said, "Here, get to
He
work."
said,
it's part
we
of the
said
podcast.
it's not running, and he looks under the engine. And he goes, "What do you say? A couple $1,000?"
No, he says, this could be fixed. No problem.
Let him just do it.
Yeah, I should have.
But he didn't want to give us the Tonight Show money to fix
Yeah.
it.
Hilarious.
So he
Okay,
Yeah.
so here's my new thought. Okay, so I'm in Vegas. I spent a couple of Shabboses ago with the family in Vegas. We're there to see Bruno Mars. No, I didn't have a gig. I just went. So funny because I had a gig in Vegas like a month before. Then my daughter's begging me, Bruno Mars in Vegas Saturday night. I'm like, you know what? Let's just do a family trip.
Is this when you
By the
filmed
way-
the thing with the kids in the back of the van?
Yes.
That was brilliant.
Isn't that amazing?
It was so touching. That
Yeah,
was such did you see
very
it?
quickly, I'll just explain what I did was when I was, a young dad and my kids were in the back of the car, I said, hey, kids, but it was planned. It was fake. I said, kids, let's just make a fun video because they really were all screaming, are we there yet? And I have to pee and I'm starving. And I'm just driving going crazy. As a dad, you're going down there, shut up, So I said, guys, let's film it. I do this when they're like 5 and 8
Right,
and 10.
sure.
And then here we are a decade later. Now my kids are taller than me. And
Wow.
I talk about this on stage. They're 6'4" and 6'3", my two boys. They still call me daddy, by the way, which is adorable. But also when you hear daddy, it's usually from a little thing looking up at you. In my house, it's
Yeah.
like, daddy, daddy, daddy.
Or a
Anyway,
strange type of prostitute.
oh, that's funny.
That calls you.
That's funny.
Hi,
Who's
Daddy.
your yeah. So I said, hey guys, let's do this again. And there we were 10 years later, and then I just edited the
Wow.
2 shots. But now they're giant adults going, I have to pee.
Yeah.
Are we there yet? And I'm like, shut up. And it was nice to see that. I love things that take 10 years to make.
Right.
There was that movie where the actors literally grow up and they waited 10 years
It was
to
called
finish.
28.
What?
28.
No,
They made it a 28, 38, 48.
that's not the movie I'm talking
But
about.
you know the documentary?
No, it's like a boy's life. or
28
something.
Up. That was the name
Oh,
of
boys.
it. Every 10 years they filmed.
That's
The same
fascinating.
people.
So I love that. Anyway, that being said, I took them all, went to see Bruno Mars, and here's what I noticed. I open up just to check. I open up the by the bed, the night table, and there it is, the Holy Bible, right?
Mm-hmm.
And I'm looking at this Holy Bible, and I'm thinking. By the way, this will be a bit, but first it's serious. Sometimes bits
Yeah,
come
of
from
course.
deep, serious thoughts.
Thank you.
And I'm thinking, we're in Vegas, and there's a Torah in every hotel room. A Torah.
Every hotel.
Like, the Holy Bible is the Old Testament, and the Old Testament is our Torah. And it was our job in the world to spread the word of God to the world, to all of humanity. God gives us this gift. So the jokes would be something like, first of all, God offered the Torah to everyone, to all the nations.
Everybody.
You know that, right?
I do.
Mm-hmm.
They turned it down.
Right, they turned it down. We are not called the chosen people because God chose us.
no.
Now I'm like doing and this is my rabbi. Every time I do a rabbi, it's always Rabbi Higher. God did not. Wait, I'm not doing it well. 1 second. God, wait, how's it go? Did not choose the Jewish people. The Jewish people chose God. And right? And God, but the truth is, God said, here is this gift I have for you. And every nation said no. And the Jews went, wait, how much is it? It's free. Oh, we'll take it. No, and we took it and we're looking at it and we're like, okay, now we have this, right? And we're looking and like, ooh, a lot of rules. What's this one? Thou shalt not lie with thy sister. I mean, that I know. I don't need to hear. I mean, nobody has to tell me that. So here's again. It's not a joke yet, but it will be.
Anybody
one
that
day.
reads that when they go, "Thou shalt not lie with sister," what?
Yeah,
You know, it's not the type of person you want to hang. What?
that's the. I can't do. Anyway, so I realized then though that we chose the Torah, we chose God, and then God said, now you have to take this book and share it with all of humanity.
Right.
And then I open and I go, mission accomplished.
There it is.
We're in Vegas, in Sin City, and the Jewish people gave the world this Torah. What are your thoughts on that?
I don't know. I mean,
Oh, I knew you didn't like it.
do we succeed if it's stuck in a drawer when everybody goes to Vegas and goes
Yes.
down gambling?
Of course.
Do people really come up to the room and open the drawer and open
So
the
the
Bible?
next level is to have
it
it
on
be
the-
implemented
Oh, I was going to say put it on the desk.
or put it on the desk. yeah. Because who opens? I literally only opened that as I was leaving. Did I
Right.
leave anything in here?
And then
But-
on the screen,
Right.
Yeah.
different options.
Okay, so that's why.
Yeah, I got a joke for you in there,
Sure.
by the way. So, you know, I'm in Vegas and they got the, you know, I'm making it a little short here, but because you tend to go long.
Yeah.
But they,
Oh my God.
so in Vegas, they got the Bible
Yeah.
in the drawer
Yeah.
for everybody. And I was recently in Utah in a Mormon hotel.
Mm-hmm.
I opened the drawer, how to win in blackjack.
That's good.
That's the joke.
That's not a good joke.
Wait.
He reversed it.
I'm in Utah
He's in Utah instead of Vegas.
in a Mormon
In a
hotel.
Mormon hotel.
I open, I expect the
Well, you
Bible.
should've-
That-
even open the drawer. There's a slot machine in there.
Yeah, the
Wait, but I thought you were telling a real story. Oh, this is just officially a joke you just thought of?
yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, that's
for you.
hilarious.
Yeah. So you know, I don't have to explain to you. What
No,
I
you
just did.
reverse it. You flip
Yeah.
it.
Yeah.
So
I
Vegas.
thought this was a real story. I'm like, what does that mean?
no, Vegas Bible.
Yeah.
Vegas Bible.
Utah.
Utah. Mormon hotel.
Yeah.
How
Deck
to
of
beat them
cards.
in blackjack.
Yeah. Or yeah.
Amazing.
In there, right?
Or I would go with hotel in Jerusalem and you open the drawer and it's blank.
Right.
You know what I mean? I don't know what. Where's
No, that's
Besh-
an atheist hotel.
Yeah.
It's just like
Blank.
there's an empty drawer.
An
Right.
empty
There's
drawer.
nothing in there at all.
Right.
Right.
Anyway, here's the point. The point is I was trying to be serious for a minute and go, we have given the world what we were supposed to do. Now our next job is to get the world to sort of, implement those laws.
Get them to open the book.
Yeah, and to me, it's
I got
all
more for you there.
Yeah, go ahead.
And it works in Vegas. They got the Bible in the room, and when you go downstairs, you hear people praying at every single
Yeah.
game.
Oh, that's funny.
God,
God.
help me.
That's funny.
God help me. Please, God.
That's funny.
Everywhere you go, it's working.
Yeah, and then by the way, up in the room, they're oh god,
God.
Yeah.
oh god,
Everywhere you
that's
go in Vegas.
with hookers though.
Yeah.
Anyway,
Mhm.
here's the point. I think we need to now continue our path and get people to do things. And to me, it's not about like rules that like don't do this, don't do that. I always say that the rules of the Bible are for your benefit. It's not for God. It's like the rules of traffic. It's like, yeah, if you pass a red light, I'm sure you could pass a red light and no one's looking, but the whole point is there's going to be another car
Right, so
that
you don't
can
get
hit
hit.
you.
Mm-hmm.
So it's not like, I avoided the cops, I did it, I passed the red light. It's for your benefit. So things like Shabbos, that's for us. That's for our time for a family to relax, to connect by disconnecting. You turn your phone off.
To recharge ourselves.
It's a recharge. When else could you take a 2-3 hour nap in the middle? It's a beautiful thing,
It's
right?
a beautiful thing.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
So anyway, we have to continue that and continue giving the world God's precious gifts.
And it is for our good.
Yes. Okay. Now here's a bit that might
Yes.
be funny that I'm really working
I'll
on.
fix it.
Okay.
Okay. So it's a bit about how now every time
I got it. I know what to do.
every time someone asks me how old I am, ever since I was 40, I just want to like curse because I can't believe that I'm this old, right? So when you're in your 20s, it's like when you're asked how old are you, you're like I'm 20. You can't not smile when you say 20. I'm 20. I'm in my
You're doing
20s.
20 like the same as the Trump.
Yeah, you do that. Like you have to smile. I'm 22, And when you're in your 30s, right?
Mhm.
Then you're getting a little older, but you're still arrogant about your youth.
Mhm.
So you're like, how old are you? I'm 30. You like stick your tongue out. I'm 33. That's how old I am. Yeah, like old man. I'm 30.
Yeah.
And then by the time you hit 40, you're like annoyed that you're so old. So you want to curse. I'm 40. If 40 and 50 are F words. There's
Yeah.
a reason that they're F words because you're not, right? 50. And then by the time you hit 60, then you're just sort of like resigned to the fact that you're not young at all anymore. And you just sort of, you're like one of those like really super confident gay men who's just like, I'm 60, whatever. I'm still fabulous. I'm 60 and I'm fabulous, right?
I've never been better.
Right. And then 70, same thing. And then when you're 80, you're back to smiling because you can't even believe that you hit that. You're like, I'm 8. You can't say 80 without smiling again. I'm 80. You're back to where you are in your 20s. And then if you hit 90, if you're lucky enough to hit 90, then you're back to where you are when you're 30s and you're teasing and taunting people. You're like, I'm 90, 90, because you can't even believe that you're 90. Anyway,
And you're in diapers again.
Yeah.
And the whole thing is over.
this is also
Nothing
not.
for 100.
It's probably going to be like it's so crazy if you hit 100 that you have to put an
Yeah.
like it's the only one that's like I'm 100.
100.
Yeah, 100. Like you're not 30. Anyway, so this is people are now listening to the process. They're going, wow, he just did 2 back-to-back unfunny bits.
Yeah.
But when you polish and when you chip and when you add and when you punch, those will be bits. The Vegas hotel room, I promise you, will be a bit that of all the places there's a Torah, especially for Jewish crowds. There's a
Yes.
Torah in a Vegas. That will be a bit.
I don't think it's just for Jewish crowds.
Well,
Everybody's
I
been
think-
to hotels and everybody's
Yes.
the Bible in there. And then
But to me, what's funny is the sentence, there's a Torah in your
Right, if you
Vegas
say it
hotel
like that,
room.
sure.
Right?
Of course. If you say it
But
like that.
by the way, people are familiar with the term Torah like they are familiar with the term
I don't know that they know what
Quran.
a non-Jew, if I say there's a Torah in there, I don't know that they know it's the Bible.
They might not, but many educated non-Jews will know that Torah means Bible.
Yeah.
Just like we know what a Quran is.
Yes.
Yes.
Well, because we have so much tension with that group
Right.
that we've had to learn.
The Hadid, the Quran, and all the other commentaries.
So well, I got a
Right.
bit about somebody being 100.
Yes.
And what kills the people who are about to turn 100 is the pressure on them to turn 100 that everybody puts on them. You
That's
know,
great.
You got to hang into 100.
Oh my
You
God.
got to.
Right.
You know, and then every it's coming cards in the mail. I'm looking forward to your 100th. You know,
Yeah.
the whole world is It's just too much. They pop out like 3 days before.
Yeah,
They just-
you
Then
know
as
what
soon
it's
as you
like?
two turn 100, they're all like, "You could die now."
Right.
as soon as they're 100, okay, psst, the
You
air's
know
out
what
of
it's
the
like?
balloon.
It's like New Year's Eve. You have to stay up till midnight.
You have to.
You have to stay. Even at 11:20, you're like, but I'm just exhausted and I don't care. I saw the ball drop on the East Coast at 9.
Yeah.
Even if you're in a coma, it's fine.
Right.
But you can't die.
You
just gotta
cannot
hang
die.
in for 100.
Yeah. George Burns did that.
Yeah.
101.
Bob Hope made it to 100.
You ever work with George Burns?
I saw him live. I never worked with him.
I did at the Montreal Comedy Festival. And I said, wow, you smoke cigars. Because I smoke 15 cigars a day. And I'm like, wow, that's amazing. And I go, I smoke cigars too, but like good cigars, like, 10.
He smoked White Owl.
Yeah, he smoked the garbage. And he goes, why would I spend $20 on a cigar when I could spend that on a hooker? So it's just again, he was another guy. Everything he said, spritzing. That's how you know the good comedians from the not great ones. The good ones always have something funny, and the bad ones do your podcast and give premises that are almost there and then just bomb for a half hour.
Didn't
I
he ever-
believe you that in 2-3 months from now, those jokes will be very polished.
Yeah.
I do
funny
too.
Jokes.
Yeah.
That's one of the great things about being a comedian.
Thank you.
We get excited when we have something, and if we're
Yeah.
willing to go the journey with the bit,
Yes.
Right.
My parking bit took a year. I just reposted. It has 2 million views. Like it goes crazy viral.
I love your bits. They're very well
Thank you.
constructed.
But
They're
it
very,
takes so
yeah, they're very,
long.
yeah.
And people don't
Well,
realize.
to make a really nice piece of work, it takes a
Yeah.
long time.
And when you just have the premise, and the premise is, okay, I'm married, right?
Mhm.
And you're just like, being married, it's like, it's like when you, and it's also the juxtaposing married guy versus single guy, It's like, you have your own legal parking spot, but on most nights there's no parking allowed, Single guys, they just go around looking for a spot, blah, blah, blah. And when you're writing it, you have the premise,
right.
and then you write it, and most of the stuff you write is crap. It's so
Right.
weird. And then you go up and nobody laughs. And you go, oh, darn it. And then the next day, but you believe in the premise.
Right.
And you believe it, and then you just chip, and punch. And
So do you actually sit and write?
all the time. But usually I pace and write. So I pace.
So
in
you're
my
talking
office.
into something?
you pace, you talk while you're pacing.
Yeah,
and
talk
then,
and pace out loud.
and then-
Never in a mirror. Mirrors are the death of
and
all
then how do
comedy.
you write it down?
On index cards. I know Jerry uses the legal pads. I'm a big,
Yeah, but when you're talking, you're constantly coming up with a fresh idea.
yeah.
So you just stop each time and write down.
Stop and write down, or if it's really I'm going, you just voice record and then you write down from there. But
Jerry will easily work a year on a bit.
1 year on a bit.
I've seen him spend 6 months looking for one word. One word. He's a scientist. He's creating, doing an experiment, each thing, and then I've seen him go a year with looking for a word, and we'll sit in the car on the way from one gig to another or something, and
For the word.
the word.
And do you see him struggle on stage ever, or does he save that for just little clubs?
No, he
struggles.
Yeah, and he'll get
In
off.
the middle of a bit.
Yeah, I mean, well, if he hasn't done the work,
Mm-hmm.
the rehearsal, and taking the time, it's a struggle for everybody.
Everybody.
Everybody. It doesn't come easy for anybody.
It's-
If instead of, because we'll talk to each other, and I'll go, listen, I got this new idea. He goes, so do I. He goes back to, I say, listen, and we will shake on it. We'll go, okay, I'm working on this in the room now. And he goes, me too. Tonight we're going to do it.
Oh my God, that's
And-
scary. It's
and
so hard to do a new bit.
Because, what I'll do is I will absolutely work on it because I have to. He doesn't
Right,
have to.
right.
I can't fire him. He's not going to fire
Right,
me anyway.
right.
But it's like, and I'll see him, I'll go, I worked an hour and a half on it. Oh, really? How about you? And then we'll go out and do it.
And sometimes you both will struggle with the bit.
Yes.
It's
Yes.
almost impossible to get a bit right on the first try.
Almost. And if you do, it's hard to remember it unless you get it right. So the funny thing is, he'll give me an idea for a bit, and I hate this because before I go up, he'll go, you going to do it? And I go, yeah. And he'll stand there and watch
Extra
to make
pressure
sure
that you do
that I
it.
did his idea.
Because you know how easy it is to fail. Oh, right. Did his idea.
Do you tape your sets when you open for him?
I do. They're never good recordings because I don't go through a monitor system.
Right. You just
I
do
put
it
I put
on the phone. Right.
Yeah, I put it on the side of the stage and stuff like that.
I started doing that like 3-4 years ago, and I'm very mad at myself that I didn't do it 10, 20 years ago. Recording sets is the most important thing you could do.
It's the most truthful.
Yeah.
Nobody in the world will tell you the truth
Right.
if you ask them if something's funny or if they see your show.
Right.
The recording tells you exactly what the audience was thinking, what they
Exactly.
felt, where they thought, and you know where you missed and what you got to
But
do.
you know what else is weird? Even when you're not recording, your brain mentally records
Yes.
the level of laugh.
Yes.
It's the weirdest thing where 2 days later you can go, that got like an laugh, so I got to fix that. And that got such a big laugh, I wasn't expecting it.
Right.
And that got no laugh. It's weird that your brain will record the level of laughs of an
Absolutely.
hour-long set.
One of the biggest laughs in my act is something that I never thought.
Is Jerry's.
No,
Yeah.
it's something I came up with and I never thought. And the first night I did it,
You ever interchange, by the way?
no,
You do yours, I'll do
no.
mine? Okay.
We used to do that at the clubs.
Right.
Sometimes. I would
Okay,
do
so what were you saying?
No, and I did this bit, and I had to back up. The laugh was so strong. I said, "Wow, what the?" And then again and again, and it always just completely clobbers at a level that I never. When I get to this bit, I'm ready to do it. I go, "This can't work." When
Wow.
when I'm saying here, and it does
You need to now copy that
with every single thing I
with
say.
every single thing.
Then
you
I'd be too
say.
funny to work.
You would be too funny. Then
So,
Jerry
by
wouldn't
the
have
way,
you open.
You take gigs, and I will call you. I've called you a number of times. Say, listen, I got this offer, and you,
Yeah.
you've never ever told me to turn anything down. You always tell me to do it, get a certain amount of money for
Yeah.
it, and
Unless they're disrespecting you by ripping you off or whatever.
it's not that. I can't. I hate doing these parties.
Right.
I can't stand it. You're in a room with 28 people, and they're staring at you, and you don't have a mic, and they're just finished eating at a table.
I just did
How do you have
one
the balls to do this?
in Deal, New Jersey. It was 40 people, and the house was on the ocean, and I found out it was a $30 million house. Of course, I gave them a discount like an idiot. But anyway, I went, I can't believe this is a $30 million house, and you couldn't spring more than $80 on a sound system from Radio Shack. I'm
Right.
literally holding a mic that's echoing with a speaker next to me. Yeah. Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. And I'm just like, a couple hundred. Just put in a
Did you
list.
say it on the?
Oh, on the I
Yeah.
always say, but that's why I like those parties, because you get to just sort of rag on everything that's happening and the people there, and you get to just riff. Whereas, the pressure of 4,000 people on the stage and a mic, there's much less pressure. You know what else I started doing, by the way? Edibles.
Edible.
Does anyone do the weed edibles?
No.
Oh, okay. So I'm so anti-drug. Never did drugs my whole life. I'm 53. At 50, I went, what am I not doing, like,
What
at
am I
least
missing
weed?
here in life?
What?
What am I missing in life?
Yeah, what am I missing? Drugs.
Yeah. Couldn't have been some holy book you haven't studied. Edibles. That's it.
now
Thank you,
again-
God, for sending me the message.
I would never do any of the hard drugs. I just do
We actually
this.
found them also in the Las Vegas hotel drawer.
Yeah?
Yeah. No, the edibles.
No, here's how crazy I am with drugs. I once saw cocaine live, and I went, "Ugh," like, stay away from that.
Uh-huh.
Like, I know never ever to do crazy drugs, but 5 milligrams of an edible, it's like a
You
plant.
do it to get to sleep too.
Yeah, amazing to get to sleep. So I started taking it, and I just felt funny. It makes you do impressions perfectly. It makes you have thoughts that you wouldn't normally have, and then it takes away certain inhibitions. So you start talking, and you're riffing, and you're being funny. And then I went, what about for the stage? Should I try it on stage? And then one night I was just doing like a little club, and it didn't really matter if I bombed or whatever. And I took it, and I'm on stage, and I am just killing, because I, again, not only had no fear, like, we all have no fear. We're all nervous before, and then once you get up there, you're comfortable and you're relaxed and whatever. But
That's not true. But
You're nervous during?
sometimes.
That's interesting.
Sometimes.
Yeah. I know what you mean. You can get nervous, but if you're in a
Yeah.
groove, you're just like,
Yeah.
you're in it. You're not like scared. But when you take this edible, you are so relaxed and so in the moment and so free and loose with your mind.
And the brain's just as clear.
The brain is totally clear. Now, you'll forget things. It does do that sometimes.
Have you
right?
tried LSD?
No, I will not do any crazy drugs.
Just try. to keep
But anyway,
up.
so I did that before this last show, and again, it allows you to just be looser and freer.
So
and
what's the
have more
family
fun.
think? Have you discussed it with the kids? Because they know about this, obviously.
Well, yeah, my kids. First of all, they're all like 23 and 20, whatever.
They invented edibles.
They literally, I started doing weed with my oldest son. So when I saw that he's doing it, I'm like, why am I the last guy doing this if my 20-year-old is doing this? So I did it with him. And then the littler ones, I try to pretend that I'm not doing this. And also, luckily, they don't listen to podcasts, especially this one.
Mhm.
Right.
Yeah. Well,
They're very, they hate you both.
Wife too? Wife edible?
Wife, no, no, I can't get her into it.
his wife was very, very nice to me when I
Very sweet.
did your show at the Laugh Factory.
She's a nice woman.
Yeah.
I married my high school sweetheart,
Really?
16.
Wow.
I was on Barry Weiss's podcast, and she's like, "What's the secret? You're married 30 years. We just celebrated 30 years." And in my act, I have a joke. Are you allowed to curse on this?
We'll beep it.
Okay, in my act, my joke is the secret after 30 years, I have never, ever called my wife a bitch unless she was being a cunt.
Right. There
Anyway.
you go. Yeah.
So
You did that on Barry?
no. So on Barry, she said, "What's the secret?" And I said, "There is no answer." I go, "You know how many factors there are? For example, we were high school sweethearts. Most people don't get to be high school sweethearts.
Right.
So that alone gives you a leg up. And if you don't, when I was on Howard Stern once, he said, well, this is very exciting. Let me tell you, this guy, Elon Gold, he's never been with any other woman." And that's true. We are virgins to the world.
Wow.
And that's another rare thing that you cannot find anywhere. So when you don't know any better, he's like, "Dude, don't you miss being with other women?" I'm like, "I don't know what it's like
Yeah,
to be
that's it.
with
You
other
don't know
women."
it, yeah.
So if you don't know it, you don't miss it. It's like when you're dirt poor, you don't know what it's like to have money, so you don't really, you feel being poor. I was poor my whole life, but I didn't miss not having money because I never had money.
Right. That's why I refuse to ever make any money, Mark.
But the point is that there is no secret.
Mhm.
There is no answer, and then we're both from parents that, weren't divorced. And
Yeah. It helps.
so you can't control
Every
this.
relationship is different. And when you look at most of them, you go, how did these people stay together?
Right.
You know,
So
but
what's your
they're-
secret? You're what, 35
34 years.
34 years. What's your
34 years.
secret?
So I stay away from other women.
Right.
I never even talk to them.
Is that true?
Yeah. I'll never.
You
spend-
know that they wouldn't be interested in you anyway, right?
I started doing this when they might have been.
Oh, back in the
yeah,
day.
Yeah, I'm not saying they would have
Right.
been. I said they
Right.
might have been.
Right.
So I ascribe to that rabbinic,
Really?
Stay
Build
away.
a fence.
And by the way, Jerry and I both agree with that, and nobody ever gets back to see us. We never meet with any. There's no women involved in.
See,
you know.
that is fascinating. I noticed that when I was at a gig that he was performing at, and not only is there no like meet and greet, but Elvis has left the building within a second
We leave
of good
within
night.
20 seconds.
20 seconds. And what does that do? It stops the groupies.
Stops everything. There may be some people waiting at the airport, and when we go through the gate, he'll sign or something. But pretty much. So the women thing, I get her flowers every Friday.
You do?
Every Friday, I buy flowers.
The
It's
thing
the
that
3 A's.
you don't know is that she's allergic to flowers.
The 3 A's. It's if any of the 3 A's are out of whack, it's appreciation, affection, and appreciation, affection, and
Asphyxiation.
asphyxiation. That's
hilarious.
the third one. Yeah,
But
there it is.
affection is something that I always kvetch about that I don't get enough back. Do
Of
you?
course,
So what
bet
is
you.
that about?
I wrote a joke about it today.
What?
I got to figure out where to put this in the act. I said, I love birds. He has a bird. I love birds. I used to have a bird, and he would sit on my shoulder and nibble on my ear. He would do the things my wife used to do when we were first married.
Mm-hmm.
So, good joke.
That's
I
funny.
wrote it today.
That's so funny.
So, and I just try to show respect.
Wait, but there's so much more to that.
There is.
Right.
I didn't
There's
have time
so
for that to
much
see you.
more to that. And then you have to do the thing about, and then it gets weird when they poop on you.
Right.
Yeah,
on the
that's
shoulder.
I mean, you
His wife
have-
used to
Whole
do
different type of affection.
No, you have to do that.
That. Yeah.
And other things about how they sometimes wake you up in the morning with their voice.
I also believe in never throwing the D word out. Divorce. Never threaten.
Don't bring it part of the conversation.
I'm leaving. I've had it with you.
Right.
I never. Frank Sinatra taught me this, not personally, but I heard him say, once you leave the house, getting back is much more difficult because you may have taken the love with you.
Wow.
That's what he said. You may have taken all the love out with you, and it's hard to get it back in.
By the way, great advice from one of the worst husbands in
Right,
the
I was
history
just thinking-
of marriage.
I think he would take all the love to Jilly's.
Yeah. Hey, Larry King, you have any marriage advice?
I've been married 11 times.
Yeah.
I know women. So, yeah.
It's fascinating.
And I
but
work on it. I take courses. I listen to tapes on it.
You do?
I do. I have taken courses.
What
I
kind
listen.
of tapes?
There was a rabbi in Israel that had like 28 hours of marriage shears, talks.
Wow. That's a lot of hours.
By the way, I was at Comedy and Magic. I saw your buddy Paul Reiser also.
Long time. By the way, all my friends got married and stayed married. The guys that I started with,
Wow.
Reiser,
Larry Miller?
Yeah, he's married 35 years. Reiser's married 38 something. Jerry's married 24, 25 years now.
Wow.
No divorces, no fooling around.
That's
I know of it.
amazing.
Yeah.
But I just saw Jerry on a podcast talk about how comedians aren't good with marriage because it's such a lone act. You're so alone in life and on stage. You don't want a partner at all, not in your work, in your home. And he goes, that's why most comedians are either never get married or they get married and then get divorced.
He knew it was the right thing to do to have a family.
Well, he did it smart because he did it late. You either do it really late or really early, like I did.
He had a joke about that. He says
What?
to the audience, I got married at 45 because I had issues. I was enjoying those issues very much.
Oh, God.
But, yeah, it's a great joke.
That's funny. He doesn't do that. He doesn't do dirty. He doesn't do sex. It's unbelievable.
No.
It's so weird because sex is such a big part of life. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like, what else is there? I have that bit that I did on James Corden show, and I because everything in my head is like from
You do wife sex stuff.
yeah,
I
but
know
from
you
the
do.
prism of like being Jewish. So I said Jews are just like everybody else. We all have the three basic human needs: sex, money, and food. We just want them in a different order, right? Like for the rest of the world, number one is sex.
Sex.
Yeah, for us, and then I literally point the mic to the audience. I go, number one for Jews, and they all yell money because, of course, they just go right to the stereotype. And I go, how dare you? As a joke, but I go, you're wrong. It's food. Food is number one. You ask any Jew if they would rather have a hot brisket sandwich or the cash value of a hot brisket sandwich, they would take the cash and buy a hot brisket sandwich at a cheaper place and keep the profits.
There you go.
And then I go, how food is number one, then money, and then sex. Sex is last. If you see a Jewish guy, staring like, ooh, I got to get me some of that. He's standing over a deli counter, because we're obsessed with cold cuts and all that. But my point is that to me, that bit is so, about life, because life is sex, money, and food. That is life. And I want to dispel stereotypes by saying you're so wrong. You think we love money. I go, we don't love money. We need money to buy food. And for me, if you take out sex out of your act, and again, there's so many guys who don't, Cosby never talked about sex.
No.
Yeah.
He lived a very clean life.
Very clean life.
Very straight-laced guy.
Yeah. But so if you take that out, it's almost to me like, well, what else is there? And then there are nights that I'm standing on stage and you're looking at the crowd, like at the Laugh Factory, and you're going, they really want to hear about sex.
Yes.
You know what I mean?
They're on dates and by the way, you taught me, probably gave me the best advice of anybody.
No, this is crazy. I
This is
can't wait to hear
absolutely
this.
true, and I've quoted.
This is worth the podcast
and
already.
you may not even
we
remember
could
this.
delete everything from this point.
You can.
I'm surprised by this. 'cause
Before.
before you came in, he said
saved
Elon
my
gives
marriage.
the worst advice.
You saved my marriage if I was ever going to step out.
Okay.
If I was going to do this,
Wow.
and I think of what you told me,
This is crazy.
this is what you said. Okay?
Mm-hmm.
You said, imagine you can have the best sex of your entire life. You're married, but you met somebody and you can have the best sex of your entire life. But remember this, it's only going to last for about 7 minutes. That's
Right.
exactly what you said.
Wow.
And you said, is it worth getting rid of everything for
Wow.
that 7 minutes?
That's amazing.
Do you remember saying something like that?
Yes, because then I wrote a bit about it called Life or Dick Situations, when you have to make a choice between your dick and ruining your life. So I gave you that advice.
And it's not that I was going to cheat,
Right.
but I've thought about that and I've told other
Yeah.
people this.
Yeah.
I said, Elon Gold once told me, if this was the best 7 minutes of your life,
Is that
which it
worth-
could be, is it worth throwing everything away for that?
And so many men
Have you-
do.
So
Have
thank
you ever
you.
talked
You're
to,
welcome.
to
Seriously.
But isn't it weird that so many men do?
Absolutely.
They
not.
throw out. Like, what is more important than family, than your kids, right? So when you do that, and I used to, it very, very similar to drugs. I used to frown upon drugs the way I did upon men who cheat on their wives.
Right.
Because I wasn't old and mature enough to realize why they do drugs or why they cheat. And so many people in their relationships are unhappy and there's no sex, and people need sex, like I said, like they need food. So now, if you cheat, I don't judge you, just like now I don't judge people who do drugs. I understand.
He started doing drugs now. That's
Right.
not a good-
What's the judge? We're judging him.
I
I saw
understand
you judging him.
why people do things. But what I don't get is, if you are in a decent marriage,
Yeah.
why you would throw out, and it's more about the kids than the wife. Because to me, I think about my kids who would resent me for the rest of their lives and treat me differently and disrespect me in a way that's just, I don't think I could deal with that.
So here's what Jerry and I talk about this
Yeah.
too. Imagine, and we've come up with this scenario. So you've now are divorced
Mm-hmm.
because you cheated
Mm-hmm.
and you cheated and you do whatever. The marriage is over. Now what you do is you go to your house that you used to live in. You don't live there anymore. And a guy comes to the door who's now living in your house, and he brings your children and says, okay, go with your father, and I'll see you later. And he hugs them and kisses them, and then you're off for the day. That's your picture if you cheat.
Not worth the splooge.
And then when you return the kids, he thanks you and closes the door on you,
yeah.
and you're gone.
And then he goes and stoops your wife.
For 7 minutes, which is she's screaming and yelling, and the line was never like this.
It's very weird. It's
You
just,
know anything about sex?
yeah.
As long as we're talking, and I've never gotten better at it.
Right.
I hit my peak,
Yeah.
and then I don't like my stand up. I'm still growing and
Absolutely.
writing. My
Probably
writing,
should listen to
my-
28
my
hours of
muscles
a
are getting
rabbi.
Probably should.
my muscles are still getting strong when I
Yeah.
exercise. I can, but in this area, I'm very limited, and there's no
growth.
swing.
Literally no growth.
Yeah, I mean,
I agree. I don't think we're ever going to get better at that. I don't think there's ever. Yeah, but
this
because
is it's a very sad moment for me.
but
in life.
it is what it is. It's just like you know. Again,
Do you see it in her face that she wishes?
No, I was
that it would
just
get better?
I was just reading something about yeah.
And I looked at squint like
Yeah.
when you finished, like
Yeah.
really.
About how it's so much more than a physical thing. It really
For you.
is. No, it really is so
Yes.
much of an emotional connection.
Yeah,
It's so important to have that connection, and it's
that's what guys who are bad at sex always say.
Yeah. That's right. That's where poor people try to go. Rich people, they're just the
Right.
suffering and the problems
yeah,
that they
yeah,
have. It's
yeah.
just,
So much. You don't want that.
they're all miserable. They're suicidal. all
But
the-
how? But here's the question: how good could you possibly get at that? You know what I mean?
I've heard.
I remember in the pilot to Everybody Loves Raymond.
Yeah.
He actually, the end of the pilot, one of the last lines is he's chasing up after her, going up the steps because now he's gonna get some, and he was all excited. He's like, "Oh, I'm gonna do new stuff tonight," and I was like, "I love that line."
Yeah, I
Because
remember
as a
that.
comedian, saying I'm gonna do new stuff is funny, but he's like, because that we all want to do new stuff. There's not that much stuff left
No.
to do.
How about if you went with a new person tonight? Would you come up with new stuff?
Oh, absolutely. Are you kidding
Oh
me?
man,
Be a
There's
whole
no
different
end
act.
to-
Be
There's
a
no
whole,
end to.
yeah, be a whole different act.
Once in a while, I will tease her. I'll say, "Listen, I just read a book on different French
Positions or
things
whatever.
to do."
Right.
She goes, "Really?" I go, "No, I'm sorry. I didn't really read that."
Yeah, it's not easy, but nothing is easy. Nothing is easy. You gotta just
Well,
do.
if being great at it, made you a better partner, then Ron Jeremy probably wouldn't be in jail right now.
Right.
He'd be shacked up with his wife somewhere, right? I mean, he probably dedicated his life to that,
Yeah,
to
he
being
did.
great at it.
Yeah.
It didn't get him that far,
He never read the Bible in the hotel room.
right?
And Judaism has a great thing with the whole 2 weeks on, 2 weeks off thing,
Yeah.
which is just
Yeah.
fascinating because that buildup of waiting for 2 weeks.
That's an easy sell to married women.
It's an easy
It's an
sell
easy-
to married
So-
women,
Yeah.
not to
So- Try to
25-year-old
sell her-
married men.
So people who don't know what we're talking about, there's a concept in Judaism of family purity, and when a woman's during her period,
Leave
there's-
that bitch alone.
Yeah, we leave her alone. There's 2 weeks off,
yeah.
and it builds desire. So when that time is over, this is really funny. So about my table outside. I have this
I
big
do.
table, and it belonged to a rock star, and the rock star got kicked out of the band. It was a famous band because he did an adult film, and he wound up doing an OnlyFans and leaving music and making more money doing adult films. So we were talking after he sold me that table, and by the way, I'll never eat off that table. So, but we were talking, and we wind up talking about marriage because he's with his fiance who he met on the set of one of these films, and they want to get married, and she told him, "You have to move to Washington D.C. to be near your ex-wife and your kids if you want me to marry you and start a life with you, because I'm not going to start a life and a marriage and build a family with someone who gave up on their old family. You have to be there."
Wow.
So that's why he sold the table, and he moved from Malibu, and he moved to Washington D.C. area. So he was talking to me about marriage and asking me about my marriage, and I said, thank God I have a good marriage. And he asked me, what do you think you contribute to? And I said this thing. I said, I'm Jewish, and we have this thing where we take time off every month, and the woman's going through that time, and then it builds a lot of desire in both people, and by the time you can touch again, it's magical, and it keeps the relationship new and exciting. Whereas if you could always do that, it's like, whatever, I could always do it, it's boring. But by taking it away and bringing it back, it's exciting. He said, yeah, I get that same feeling when I go on set and I'm with a bunch of other women who aren't my fiance, and I come back and I'm like, I still want her.
Wow.
He didn't
That's
get
a
it.
little
He-
different. That's a
little
little
different.
different than what I'm talking
Yeah.
about.
So we take it to a much higher level, my wife and I.
Yeah.
We
What do you
take-
do?
Take off every month and a half.
Wow.
Yeah, it's a
that's
much higher,
nice.
deeper spiritual
Yeah.
level.
Right. Mark is
By the way,
exotic.
you can sell this concept to women easily about the 2 weeks off. You can say,
Easily.
yeah. But could you sell her? I'm only going to work half the year from now on.
I'm gonna work 2 weeks a month.
2 weeks a month. I'm taking the other 2 weeks, and those are the 2 weeks that we can be on. So
Yeah. It does work. Oh, here's another bit. We should when we're closing soon, right?
we're going
Well, we have
to
some
a couple of
snooze
Oh,
ideas.
stories.
good, good.
Yes.
But here's the thing: you can help me with this bit.
I will
because
help you.
this bit's working, but it's still not perfect. The bit is because a lot of my friends are getting divorced, and guys react to the news of their friends getting divorced the way women react to the news of their friends getting engaged.
Wow.
Right?
That's
Guys
excellent.
are like, "Oh my God, that's amazing! You've wanted this forever. I am so happy for you. Had this happen, I need details. I want the whole story." And then it goes on where it's like, "Well, we were at a favorite restaurant. She looked me right in the eyes. She was like, 'Will you spend the rest of your life without me?' And I was like, 'Yes. Oh my God, yes.' And I got so emotional. I was like, 'Oh, I have to call my mother. She's always hated you.'"
Yeah.
And then the final punchline is, when I say, "So do you have do you have a date? When's the big day?" Well, I said to her, "Why wait? Let's go to the courthouse now." And he goes, "And notice anything missing on my ring?" And then he looks at the hand and he goes,
Yeah.
wow, it's bare and it's beautiful. This must have cost you a fortune.
Oh, that's
It's a
funny.
good joke.
It's a great joke.
And it does,
Yeah.
it does really well. But it still needs 2 or 3 more laughs in it. Because again, premise is great. Guys react to the news of their friends getting divorced the way women react to the news of their friends getting engaged. It's that level of, oh my God, this is amazing. We can, I'm so happy for you. You've wanted this forever. But it still needs a couple of things. All right, we'll work on it next time.
Great premise, by the way.
Thank you.
And
Look how
very
he had
funny.
no faith in us to do anything.
Yeah.
I love that you want that to still keep growing, that bit.
Yeah, because
Yeah.
It's a great
you
bit the
know
way it
every
is. Yeah.
bit can, you know that you can do a bit for 10 years and then all of a sudden you go, oh, I could add that to it.
Woody
Right.
Allen talked about writing a bit way back when, how he does it. Like, if he's bringing clothes to the cleaners, let's say, he starts thinking about what's it like getting them ready in the house, which ones, how to fold them. Then you bring them in the walk to the cleaners and handing it to the person.
Right.
And then when you get the thing and they wanted to bring it on Wednesday and you'd rather have it on Tuesday. And he tries to cover every single different angle. And sometimes we don't look that deep into the thing.
Right.
We just go, here's the bit, and this is what we're going to do.
Mhm.
But he tries to follow the whole.
You have to be
Well,
like
speaking of the dry cleaners, it's crazy. You go to the dry cleaners now, and they take you to the dry cleaners.
Well-
By the way, is that why what is the expression "take you to the dry cleaners" about?
take you to the cleaners.
Take you to the cleaners,
Right.
What does that mean?
Well, like you're gonna get cleaned out, right? They're gonna take everything
Okay,
away.
because what I noticed lately is the dry cleaner bill has gotten insane. You can
unbelievable.
buy the new suit for the same at Zara's for what you're cleaning it.
This shirt,
Yeah.
of course, I think it was like $40. I spent $3,000 already dry cleaning it.
Right.
So
4 years.
why do they say take it to the cleaners? What is that supposed to mean? I still don't understand.
Take everything
think-
you have. Take everything you have.
Uh-huh.
You go to, when you go to Vegas, they're going to take you to the cleaners. They're going to take everything. They're not going to leave you with anything.
Yeah.
Okay.
They
Not
clean
even a
you
shirt
out.
on your back. They're going to clean you out.
Clean you out. Okay, got
So
it.
what we do now is, and by the way, this is a terrific conversation.
Okay,
And
good.
I'm not just saying that.
I always feel like comedians are like private investigators
Yeah.
investigating the dumbest things in the world.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's it.
Yeah,
We're just
that's
looking
funny.
for every clue of something that nobody cares about.
That's hilarious.
Yeah.
Thank you, gentlemen.
Don't
Anything
thank
you want
us.
to plug before we wrap up
What do you
here?
wanna
Well,
plug?
just follow me on Instagram, Elon Gold, and I'm on tour right now, so you can come see me live. And then what else?
You still have your dating show?
You want to hear something funny? You want to hear something funny quickly?
About time.
What?
About
Yeah.
time, finally.
You want to hear something funny? You know what I have to plug? My new podcast.
Yeah.
I'm serious. Someone forced me to do a podcast, so I may, and then I'll have you guys on as a guest.
Seriously? You're going
I
to have your
swear.
own podcast?
Yeah, but in a couple of months. I'm trying
there you
to
go.
I wouldn't do
procrastinate.
it if I were you.
After all
I
that.
swear.
After all
Can I
that.
you
can I
get
borrow
stuck.
this?
You know something?
These mics?
Anyone can do one. And,
Anyone.
Anyone can do one. I'm
Yeah.
sorry, I'm not admiring you
I
guys
knew you were
today.
going to do one because you had that dating
Yeah.
marriage show.
Yeah, that was. I'm home and I have nothing to do, and there's no stand up, and the world shut down. So then I'll talk to people and do a podcast. But when there's things to do,
It's very easy to poke holes in this whole podcast.
this
theory
is
of
just
yours.
a phone call. This is you know what I mean?
How often do you three-way call, though? Be
Okay,
honest.
fine.
Mark, anything you want to plug?
Yeah, my book, Why Not? Lessons on Comedy, Courage, and Chutzpah.
Yes, I have it and love
thank
it.
you. It's people who seem to enjoy my Instagram at Mark Schiff, and that's really I'm going to Dodge game tonight. So
Have fun.
Have a good time at the
And
game.
you, Danny?
DannyLobel.com, DanielLobel.com, and I've got albums on Stand Up Records. You can go to
Nice.
standuprecords.com. I've got 2 albums there, and I've got comic books at fairenoughcomic.com. That's about it for us today. Thank you guys for tuning in. If you like it, tell your friends. That's our marketing strategy. So
And what
please
about
tell
your
people.
GoFundMe to refund when the
Well,
robbery
we
thing?
did that. It was like
It's
a year
good?
ago. We're
And everything-
refunded. We're back.
I know
up
it's
and running.
gorgeous,
Yeah.
but you got it. You don't need any more. Just say it
Well,
anyway.
take a few bucks.
What is it?
You offering something?
What's your GoFundMe?
You actually sent me some money when we did
Okay,
the
nice.
$18 you
What,
call
what
it.
is your GoFundMe?
That doesn't exist anymore. I don't know.
Okay, fine.
How
How do people support us then?
now?
Just Venmo
Yeah,
at Elon
send us
Gold.
a few bucks. Listen, to support us, tell people about the show. We think
yeah,
it's funny.
5 stars.
5 stars on Apple Podcasts. Leave us a nice review. We're on TikTok, Instagram, YouTube, Spotify, and Apple Podcasts. And we'll see you next time. We think it's funny. We hope you did too. Bye-bye.
Bye.
Bye.
Terrific, Elon.
All right.